Namaskar. Today we are going to see the roles and responsibilities of head of office in central government office. Okay, this may not be useful for all the central government employees, but there were some demands from some officers, and I thought compiling in one place because a head of office plays a very major and important roles in almost all aspects of government functionings in the field office. Even in the headquarters and the ministries also, they nominate somebody as a head of office to deal with the financial matters. But other than that, headquarters, in the subordinate office, the role of head of office is almost everything. Let us see a few of major parts of the head of office role in a government office. The head of office is nominated by heads of department or central government. Central government is secretary. Head of department, any others like joint secretary. A head of department can be a minimum level required is deputy secretary and above. So normally in central government, joint secretary or additional secretary level officers are nominated as head of department. Of course, secretary level officer also can be as head of department if they are other than the ministry and departments. And ministry and departments are headed by secretary only. That is one point. Now, head of office is nominated by heads of department or central government under Rule 14 of Delegation of Financial Power Rules 1978. So this is a statutory rule. So it nominates with head of office with all powers and other things. And an office shall have only one head of office. There cannot be more than one head of office in any office. And any gazetted officer can be nominated as head of office. So the minimum requirement is gazetted officer. Of course, in some departments, even joint secretary level officers are nominated as head of office also. Though there is a rule which says head of the department, the minimum level is required deputy secretary. But here, even for head of office, which is nothing but a subordinate officer, is nominated up to the level of joint secretary. Of course, they will be having more power than normal head of office. That we will see in detail. Head of officers have to perform the following functions. What are they? In establishment, fixation of pay. So the administrative people will prepare pay fixation, etc. He has to verify and approve it. So fixation of pay is done by head of office. Grant of leave. Unless specifically delegation is given to some other officer, normally the head of office will play the role for grant of leave also. Maintenance of service book, and especially maintenance of service book will be taken care by administration and DDO also, but overall responsibility lies with head of office. Okay, now another important point of the role of head of office in service book maintenance is that he has to verify every service book at least once in 4 years. In the sense, every year 25% of the total number of staff service record have to be verified by head of office and signed by him. So this is another important point. And opening of service book, every entry making, everything he has to ensure through his subordinate officers. Filing of nominations. So whenever a government servant signs government service, details of family, and nowadays common nomination form has come. Otherwise, every like GPF separate nomination, group insurance separate nominations, DCRG, death cum retirement gratuity separate nominations. All those things now they have clubbed into a single nomination, common nomination. That has to be ensured. Head of office will arrange that this is prepared and signed by the employee concerned and countersigned by head of office. Only then it will be filed in the service book for future reference. And GPF related things will be submitted to PO. So filing of nomination. Process and payment of retirement benefits. That is actually pension payment related things. I'm planning to release separate video on that. Actually, this pension process should start 1 year before the retirement of a government servant. So we will discuss separately all those things. But the role lies with head of office. Maintenance of confidential reports. Normally, certain department they will be having separate section and other things. Then head of office will forward to them. Otherwise, it will be maintained by head of office only. And maintenance of discipline, that is normal. Any office, as a head of office, he will maintain discipline of his subordinate and everybody under his control. Finance and accounts. So now we have seen establishment part. And what are his roles? Finance and account is handled by head of office only, under his control. So preparation of budget. So every year in September, revised estimate for the current year and budget estimate for the succeeding year, following year, will be prepared in September, and that will and submitted before October first week and other things. This will be arranged by head of office. HO will arrange this budget for his unit and send to the headquarters for compilation and submission to the ministry, or ministry will discuss with finance ministry to incorporate in the budget proposals. So preparation of budget. Now, budget control over expenditure. So every expenditure should be met within the budget allotted. So now we have submitted proposal. Once budget is allocated, you keep a separate budget control register. Nowadays, they are all in the system on this, the public finance management, PFMS management system. That has got provision for budget control also. Otherwise, earlier it was maintained in registers. So every expenditure, when it was maintained in register, total allocation will be written on the top, and bill wise under that subhead, under that detailed. So they will write the bill number, details of expenditure, amount, so balance available afterwards. So every time it will be done. Now it is handled in the PFMS system itself. So it will prompt us that what is the budget availability, etc. So to that extent, the headache of head of office is reduced, but we have to follow the budgetary control and whatever is provided, and any additional allocation we can update, and automatically PFMS will allow expenditure. Okay, this is the advantage of having computer system, online system also. And drawal of money and disbursement. Now you will be surprised to see this is done by DDO. DDO does this work on behalf of head of office. So drawal of money and disbursement to the concern lies with the head of office. The responsibility lies with the head of office. Maintenance of accounts, all registers. Okay, that also now all online system has come. You download the report, check, and then sign and keep it. Keep a report, because audit day will come. They will simply see the online system without going into the register and all. For the time being, you have to take printout, keep a printout, and till government issues order that people can see by query of those things. But as of now, we have to maintain registers. And head of office authorizes a junior gazetted officer as drawing and disbursing officer to carry out the functions of drawal of money from government account and payment thereof. Payment to the concerned, whoever is the beneficiary. Okay. Here the point noted is the DDO is authorized by head of office. Normally, only head of office is nominated by head of the department, and he becomes automatically head of office and DDO. And instead of his role is more, he is authorized to, or he is empowered to authorize a junior officer to function as DDO. So his role, his responsibility lies over and above the DDO. So the correctness of work done by DDO lies with the head of office. So head of office is to be very careful in selecting the DDO also to work under him. So this is another important point. The point to be noted here again is there is a concept of cashier nomination for any cash payment. Nowadays, cash payment has been drastically reduced, but still there is a provision for nomination of cashier, which can be done only by head of the department. So when the head of office and cashier are nominated by head of the department, the DDO can be nominated by head of office. This is an important part. Now, general administration. Again, here also As I told earlier in the beginning, HO's role is almost complete. Everywhere HO's role remains in the field office. Procurement of goods and services, purchase of office equipments and stores, maintenance of office decorum, upkeep and maintenance of various equipments installed in the office and the station, responding to audit queries, audit objections. So because head of office will organize the audit, etc., and replying to audit queries, collecting information from various divisions or sections. So he is the focal point for audit also. Processing of pension and GPA final payment cases, etc. Pension related, I'm going to release a separate video. We'll see on that. Resolving staff grievances because he is head of office, issuing CGHS cards, etc. Then you will see there is what is that which a head of office need not to know. Every function has to be done under the control of head of office. The administration and the accounts people will be reporting to head of office. The main function of DDO is to regulate government receipts. No, DDO, because head of office is functioning as DDO also. So he can nominate a gazette officer to function as DDO. That DDO's function or head of office function is to regulate it as drawing officer, is to regulate government receipts and payments, incurring expenditure as authorized by the competent authority. Authority competent will sanction, and head of office will have some power. Head of office can be granted more power also, because when joint secretary level officers are delegated as head of office, nominated as head of office, they will have almost full power. So as HO, they will exercise that power which is nominated to them. If no special delegation is there, then whatever is given in the delegation of financial power rules, which we are going to discuss here, will be exercised by the head of office. So authorized by the competent authority, and also keeping accounts of the office on behalf of the head of office. So DDO's function is subservient to head of office. DDOs may also be authorized to look after the duties concerning establishment and administration, namely maintenance of service book, attestation of entries in the service book. But verification of service book has to be done by head of office, and they have to complete 100% once in 4 years. That means every year they have to do at least 25% records of service book as verified. So head of office is therefore assisted by DDO in his day-to-day functions, and both of them play a vital role in efficient functioning of the office. Head of office and DDO are therefore required to possess complete knowledge of rules and procedures on the following. 1. General Financial Rules 2017. GFR will prepare separate video because it is a very vast subject. At least we'll prepare item wise. We'll prepare videos. It will take some time, but I'm going to do on that. Government Servant Accounts, Receipt and Payment Rules 1983. This will say what sort of check is to be issued. No, check issue is not there. Challan, how to prepare. How far you can keep the money. You cannot keep money. There are certain departments like postal department, jail, they can keep the receipt for spending, but all other departments have to remit the money. Whatever you receive, you can't say I am spending in this. No, those things will be discussed in the receipt and payment rules. We'll try to release that also. It will take some time. Fundamental and supplementary rules, FR and SRs. There are part 1, 2, 3, 4 and all up to 5. And part 1 has got pay fixation. We have already discussed, because so head of office should know the fundamental rules also. Increment, even honorarium comes in that. TADA rules we have already released videos. Allotment of government quarters and license fee related things. So license fee related account submission is again the role of head of office. DDO will be doing under the control of head of office. CCS leave rules 1972. So leave sanction we already discussed. So leave encashment of leave also comes under that. Unless specifically somebody is authorized to authorize encashment of leave, head of office will do. CCS conduct rules. Conduct rules we have already released videos. Leave rules also we have released videos. CCS CCA rules, that is classification, control and appeal. This is applicable only for disciplinary and vigilance actions. So that we will have to do separately. We'll do later on. Immediately I'll do, but it will take more time. CCS pension rules 2021. Now new rule has replaced the old one. Almost same with the new reform and all, they have made it in that. I am going to release separate videos on CCS pension rules also. CCS implementation of national pension rules 2021. NPS I have already released. Any changes I will release separate videos. Now, head of office general guidelines, standard or canons of financial propriety. Because every situation rule cannot be framed. This situation you do this. Overall perspective, overall framework can be given. But every situation that is faced by head of office should take a call. So what are the standard? We'll see here. Every officer here will say, we are talking about with reference to head of office, but every officer is expected to exercise the same vigilance in respect of expenditure incurred from public monies as a person of ordinary prudence would exercise in respect of expenditure of his own money. Assuming that you go to the market, you try to buy something, you take it vegetable, you go to market. So a normal person, we are not, because we are discussing about a person of ordinary prudence. So we are not talking about miser who will never want to spend money, even at the cost of starving, at the cost of going thirsty. But we are not discussing a person who is a spendthrift, simply he will lavishly spend. No, we are discussing about a person of ordinary prudence. So let us consider we are a person of ordinary prudence. So we will be reasonable in our activity towards expenditure purchase for our household requirements. You go to the market, you you see there are tomatoes in 2-3 shops are there. One fellow has got very high quality, rate is slightly higher. Another fellow has got low quality but rate is less. So you will go for high quality tomato only. So now you see same standard level, same quality level you see some 2-3 area, and one fellow says some limited rate. He says, no, if you buy 1 kg, I am charging this way. Like he says, if you buy 1 kg, I am charging 60 rupees. But if you buy 2 kg, I am charging 100 rupees. So it becomes 50 rupees. Now we will try to see whether 2 kg is required for the next 4-5 days or whatever it is. The fridge you can keep for maximum 1 week only. Or if you don't have fridge, what you will do? No, I need only half a kg. You will spend 30 rupees. So you have fridge. Now you save some 10 rupees and for the entire thing you save some 20 rupees, which is nothing but 20%. And you are not going to waste. You are going to use it in the next 4-5 days. So you buy 2 kilo also. So like that, every situation, the officer who goes for purchase, who decides to spend money for government account, from government account, he will use his prudence in such a manner as if he is spending for his household thing in a normal way, not as a miser who never spends money or who is very like against spending anything, or we are not like spendthrift who simply lavishly waste the money. No. So this is it. And now next point, the expenditure should not be prima facie more than the occasion demands. Why this condition? See, that is why I said initially, every situation cannot be brought into a rule position. So now you have a meeting. So they say you can provide only tea, right? Meeting that you provide tea, no issue. Now the point is, you need for the meeting, now you have a lot of people. So whatever you say, the meeting of 10 people, we can have without mic and other thing. Now you have meeting of 100 people. So you should have a mic setup and all this. You have to spend. So last meeting for 10 people, you have not done any mic setup, all those things. No, can we spend? Yeah, you can spend. Because here it is 100 people. Now, whatever you say or whatever people say, the other people cannot hear. So you can set the all public address system or whatever is required. But do you need this for 5 people or 10 people? It is waste of expenditure. So the expenditure should not be prima facie more than the occasion demands. Now there is an urgency. So in urgency, the normal case you say this can be done, some particular banner or something can be done in 1000 rupees. Now government says, tomorrow you conduct this because Swachh Bharat and all came like that. So government says tomorrow you conduct or in 2 days you conduct. So you go to the market for urgency, he charges 1500. Will you wait for 3 days till the functions are over or you will spend and do it? Yeah, you can justify that. There is an urgency. So the occasion demands to spend little more. But the major point is honesty. You don't waste the money. You don't give it to your known person who is selling there. Then the question will arise. Now, another point. The person who is selling is known person to you. But there is nobody in the city. Then that is a justification. You put a committee, the people will go and find out and they will do. Now, here I wanted to make one point. One of the trainings I was attending as DDO, the query was, they did not say what is the department. They did not say what is the authority to that particular director. Director normally will have more power. He said, the query was like this. They have a library. So the director decides to buy medical related books. Medical related books incurring a lot of money. He has full power in that. So he has purchased. Incidentally, his daughter has joined MBBS recently. This is the question. Is it correct for him to buy? Almost everybody said it is wrong. But I told the question is not whether his daughter is studying now. The question is whether the department needs these particular books for their work, because department functions for the public. Suppose if it is medical related department, they would be requiring. Suppose if it is medical research department, they would be requiring it. So there, the daughter studying in college, MBBS should not come in the way of his decision making to buy books, which is essential for his department, I said. The clap. The faculty was very happy. Yeah, there you are. This is the correct way. So what I am trying to say is, so there are, the point is, there should be no personal benefit. But when you take, there should be no personal benefit when you take some decision. That should not lead to depriving your department what is needed for the department. So the public interest, larger public interest serves here. So you don't bother about your daughter studying in college and all. You buy in for your library, but the library is going to be used by the department people who need these books. That is the issue. So only, I'm not derogating when I say that, only I could answer this one. And the faculty was very happy. Kudo, he has made the right point. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, these are when we understand the canons of financial propriety, we can handle. Only thing is, we should be honest. Tomorrow question will come, because when I worked, there was one query. I think in some other video I told, I think the query was, at that point of time, the rates were finalized by NIC headquarters, and state unit you can buy. I was in state unit. I was DDO, and also I was head of the administration also. The SIO is a head of office, of course. And there were some purchases. So March, we were trying to close the money, and the requirement was assessed, and floppies were required. At that point of time, floppies were required. One box of floppy, I think costing some 10 to 15 exact money. I forgot what is the value of that. One box. It was decided that the rates were approved, and approval was taken, and purchases were placed. And I am working in the South India office. The party is near Delhi. The rate finalized by NIC headquarters is with the party which is in Gurgaon, I think, or nearby Delhi, whatever it is. So we sent purchase order and he has supplied immediately based on the rate contract, etc. The moment it came, the stores in charge has given stock entry and gave me the bill. The next day, the same day, I got the approval of HO, and the next day I drew the DD because we had to issue check and draw check. At that point of time, there was no online payment. I drew DD and sent the payment by post the next day. Matter ended there. It was in the March time, so I did not lose even 1 hour. I was doing faster with along with other work. This particular case I am discussing because the query was after 2-3 months, the box of floppies received and certified by the stores in charge was missing in the stores room. So he raised the issue. He submitted a note. Enquiry came, and our admin people, senior people, one first query raised by my senior officer was, why so urgent you made the payment? What is the reason you made payment immediately? I was surprised. I said, is it a crime to clear the bill immediately? I asked, this is what was my reply. No, same day. What is wrong? Then I told, you can suspect me if this is my known party. If the local party, I called him and all those things. Even then, when there is an urgency, I can always justify. This is decided by NIC headquarters. We have not seen the party. Every approval is there. My work I did immediately, and you are questioning me. I said, okay, then they dropped that question. What I am trying to say, we have in our midst such people who will always suspect any work you do in the good intention, in a fast manner. But I never got let down. I never felt I was let down. I used to fight back. Okay, they dropped the question, but what I'm trying to say is, so had it been a local purchase and somebody said this fellow knows him and all, then my justification would be very terrible. I have to give all reasons the same day I made. Anyway, it is decided by the committee, all those things. So purchase committee is all those things. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, first of all, as long as you are honest, you can fight back. That you have not benefited anything out of that, you have only done your work, is what is my statement here. Okay. So the expenditure should not be prima facie more than the occasion demands. No authority should exercise its power of sanctioning expenditure to pass an order which will be directly or indirectly to its own advantage. He cannot sanction honorarium for himself. This is the simplest examination, simplest example. But the question I faced in our service was, actually normally Deputy Secretary and above, the TA bill countersigning authority will be self-control officer. So there, and same way, medical bill, the state centers authorities were given 100% full percent power in our department as given to the ministry, 100% power with the state field head. Not only that, in Delhi it was joint director general, which I was exercising rather. So one query came, the SIO's medical bill, some 700 or so. The DD raised, no, you are the SIO, you cannot sanction your own thing. He written the file. Then I wrote, this is within the power of SIO. File need not be submitted to Delhi. It should be passed, as approved by SIO, it should be passed. I wrote and sent back. The SIO was very happy. Yes, at least you clarified. Our fellows are raising objection. That is only for this set of rules, is for making honorarium, sanctioning himself. No, he cannot do. He goes on tour. If he is self-approving authority, he goes. Otherwise, he takes approval of his higher authority and goes. But bill he need not submit to higher authority. He can sanction. So that is the difference between sanctioning himself and passing normal bills and all. So this, with my experience, I make this point. So no authority should exercise its powers of sanctioning expenditure to pass an order which will be directly or indirectly to its own advantage. Okay, this we have discussed now. Now, expenditure from public monies should not be incurred for the benefit of a particular person or a section of people unless, normally this is for the policy matter, HO level it won't happen, but still let us know the things. Suppose somebody has to be granted some allowance or money because he has got a court order. So we have to implement the court order. But other people we are not giving because it is only for against the court order. So a claim for the amount could be enforced in a court of law. Or the expenditure is in pursuance of a recognized policy or custom. So government policy is there for spending something for somebody, you do it. It is like in the week. You spend some money for those people who have passed the exam or whatever it is, who have done more work in India. So it is under the policy. So then why custom? Custom is the source for law in our country, in most of the countries. So whichever custom accepted by government, it is used. But these things, HO level, very rarely it happens. But to understand this, we have put this rule also. It is part of the standards of financial propriety or canons of financial propriety. Okay. The amount of allowances granted to meet expenditure of a particular type should be so regulated that the allowances are not on the whole a source of profit to the recipients. What is this? This, let us say, TADA rules. They give food allowance. They give local mileage. But that cannot be a source of profit for the person who goes on to. This is done by Ministry Department. The nodal ministry is Ministry of Finance. They will follow this. So the food allowance is only minimum required for a particular day's expenditure. So it cannot be a source of profit for us. So when you decide anything, any allowance granted, but again, it is not part of HO's role. But anything that is done, all these parts are, all these rules have to be kept in mind. That is why rules, when they make like TAD rules and all, they are very clear. It will be only reimbursing the expected cost. That's all. In order to carry out their functions, that HOs and DDOs, normally here HO, the head of officers are vested with financial and administrative powers under delegation of Financial Power Rules 1978. For recurring expenditure for a person who is appointed under secretary and above. Below under secretary is only 1,000 rupees even now. Under secretary is in level 10. Level 11, level 11 and 12 is deputy secretary. Okay, under secretary is level 11. So if an officer nominated as HO is of level 11 or more, 11 or more, the recurring expenditure you can make 2,000 rupees within the power of HO. When there is no other power delegated to the particular authority. Department can delegate more power also. It is normal for all the department. And non-recurring expenditure, 5,000 rupees. And for these, there is no financial concurrence required. Number one. Okay, what is recurring expenditure and what is non-recurring expenditure? Simple. You buy stationery. You need to buy frequently. Normally, stationery purchase rule I will discuss because we have to keep a period. You can't buy a lot of things and keep in the office also. So those things in the purchase rules we will discuss. So you buy frequently, stationery. So it is recurring. But you put a name board. That is not recurring. You buy a new lock for the office main door or something, and that is also not recurring. You will not buy every month or every year. Whenever it is required, only you will do. So this is the mild difference between recurring and non-recurring. Non-recurring, okay. Now only this is without any delegation by the department, head of office can use. Beyond that, the head of office, whatever he is granted power, that he can use, and he can also use the power. DOPT will issue orders, office memoranda on personal matters. They will say head of office can do. Yes, you can do that. Ministry of Finance will issue on allowances and government expenditures. And they will say head of office. If head of office is mentioned, you can use. And the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare under CGHS and medical attendance, they will say HO can sanction. Yes, whatever is given in such orders, that will also be used by head of office. So wherever the office memoranda issued by various ministries providing powers to head of office, the same shall also be exercised apart from the powers delegated within the department for head of office. This actually, with this, we are completing most of the powers and rules of the head of office. Let us see any doubt you can raise in the, I mean, comment box. I'll give reply, and I'm going to release other rules also one by one. Thank you.